Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, I am going to spend a little bit of time to put in perspective what would be the right scanning solution for a particular need. And specifically what we're going to look at is MFPs compared to network scanners compared to dedicated document scanners. And figure out which device is going to best solve your scanning needs. Well, they're all going to do scanning, and they can all probably work in specific parts of your organization. Let's take a look at some trends first of what's driving scanning in the imaging market. First of all, electronic representation is now becoming the preferred way to handle documents, as opposed to paper documents. MFPs have made it easier for introducing scanning for people who are comfortable scanning. People are very comfortable sending documents through email now. And we're now in this transition from scanner deployment, sending out scanners to individuals, to scanning deployment. So building in a workflow process, using scanning as part of the business process. And if the C-level executive asked you why or which method would you deploy, an FTP network scanner or a dedicated scanner, could you answer that question today? And hopefully this information we're providing today will help you do so. So a couple of things that Fujitsu has done with respect to a survey in the US. We went out to our imaging customers and asked them a few specific questions. And most of them said that their scanning volume will increase over the next 3 years. And that 50% of all departments are still paper-based. And 56% of any particular department is still running via paper as opposed to electronic. Now, let's take a look at the benefits and the issues when we're talking about MFPs, network scanners, and dedicated document scanners. So, MFPs, well, they're designed for printing and copying, right? So everybody knows how to use them. Scanning is typically included with an MFP, and there's no immediate cost per page at this point in time for scanning. It's less equipment to manage, so from an IT standpoint, there is a reduced cost of managing those devices, and the enterprise management tools are pretty mature for MFPs, so you can see the page count, copy count, and be able to tell if you need to replace toner or whatnot. So what are the issues? Well, from a scanning standpoint, they're not designed to scan all types of business documents. They're pretty much designed to scan what they print. So letter size, legal size, 20-pound paper documents. It is a controlled user experience. However, MFPs, they're all different as far as the user interface and how you work with them. And I've never met anybody in an organization who's an expert on using their MFP. They're all different. And no one really wants to be an expert on it. The pick roller design, so how it pulls paper. There's no immediate way to replace or change pick rollers or pad assemblies depending on the design. Their primary function is printing and copying. It's a shared device, so scanner availability comes to question. If someone's printing or someone's copying, well, you're not scanning, you're waiting to do that. And as such, it's a remote device. You have to get up from your desk, go walk to that device to use it. And if it's being used by someone else, well, the clock is ticking, and with any business, time is money. There's limited preview options. So if you're scanning a 50-page document and page 38, there's an issue with it, you're not going to know until you get back to your desk. You open up that PDF file, though, and rescan that one page. And to do so, you'd have to go back to the device, rescan that one page, go back to your computer, and if you have Adobe Acrobat and you're proficient with it, you would be able to replace that one page specifically, but it does take time to do so. Sleep mode. A lot of these devices are not very environmentally friendly from a sleep standpoint for energy usage. And training. And again, going back to I've never met anyone who is an expert on an MFP. So training is definitely an issue with MFPs. Management tools, again, they're more dedicated towards printing and copying, not specifically for scanning. Let's take a look at network scanners, and this is based on a Fujitsu network scanner, R6010M. It has a dedicated keyboard, or built-in keyboard, 101 keyboard. It's a dedicated device for scanning, and it's designed for scanning mixed batches of documents. So you can scan anything from receipts up to legal-sized documents with various different thicknesses as well. And you can even do hard plastic card scanning with licenses, credit cards, things like that. So it's specifically designed for scanning any type of business document. Maintenance and support can all be tracked through the management tools with the software that come with the device. So you'd be able to tell page count, you can tell who's scanning what. When a user logs in, it's all sent over into a login on the device. So as such, simple business rules can easily be forced onto users. This particular device ties right into Windows Active Directory. So if my login on my PC at work is Marc and my password is Wilkens, that's my login on this device. As such, I can also, IT can also define what I can specifically do with that device. So perhaps I can only have access to scan to a network folder if I don't have access to scan to emails. It's also an encrypted device. So if something ever went wrong, someone stole your 6010N or the hard drive went down, it's encrypted. So that data cannot be retrieved very easily from the device. Built-in image processing. So these devices have image clamp built in, so you can do auto deskew, which means if something's going in crooked, it will straighten it up. Blank page deletion, so if there's no information in the back of the page, it'll delete it automatically. And multi-feed detection, which is very important, because what you don't want is if the paper gets jammed in the scanner, that it gets destroyed or ripped or teared or become a recorder. So multi-feed detection is very important for important business documents. And true duplex scanning. All Fujitsu scanners have 2 scanning engines, so they'll scan both sides of a page in a single pass. Comparing that to MFPs, most MFPs use what they call double pass duplex. They're pulling a document in a curved paper path, scanning it on a flatbed, pulling it out and doing some kind of dance, and then scanning the other side, which more action, more possibility for an error to happen. And there's a cost-effective menu for developing job buttons specific by user. I'm going to give you a little screenshot here. So that's what it looks like on the screen of a 6010N. It's a color touch screen. You log in, you'll have specific job buttons that are specific to the tasks that are paired to your job. You can also have a preview. So once you've scanned in your document, you can do some quality control before you even send off that image. And if a particular document wasn't up, or a page of that document wasn't up to snuff, you could rescan that page and replace it before even sending it off. So what are the issues with the network scan? Well, IT will tell you it's another device for them to manage. And the more devices for them to manage, more work for them. It does not include printing and copying. However, you do have the ability to scan to print if you already have laser printers, which I'd probably say most organizations do. And there's no flatbed built in. So if I wanted to scan something out of a book, I'd have to either have a flatbed scanner or go to the photocopier and copy it first. And then there's that first T anxiety, and that's from an IT perspective. Not many organizations have implemented network scanners. It's still a new technology, and so they may not be so keen on launching these devices. Give you a couple of examples where we've installed some network scanners, these models specifically, the 6010N. A couple law firms in Canada, probably shouldn't name them, but one of the very largest law firms in Canada implemented the 6010Ns in their offices for scanning various different documents. And what they liked about it was that they could secure it right down, tied right into Active Directory. So they could build a security policy with unique user logins and authentication by user group. They also put these in their large customer sites. And then they had them networked through a VPN. And they were able to securely transmit documents back and forth without having to do scanned email, and who knows what documents ended up with email them. But so they were very happy with those devices, and the training was very, very minimized, because you walk up to it, you see a button that says scan to the X drive scans folder, you know exactly what it's going to do. As long as you put in your documents right, it's going to do that for you. Another use that we had for that device, or another end user, was it was Upper Canada District School Board. They had special needs students, and they were at various campuses across Ontario, and their professors weren't necessarily at the same campus as them. And so what they would do is they would do their homework. They would scan into the device and hit one button, and then it would be sent off over the network and saved into the folder of that teacher, so they could pull their homework and do the marking. And they found it very simple to use compared to other devices, and the simplicity is important. Then network scanner like this one might be ideal. Now, dedicated scanners. Well, they're designed for business document capture. And they're right within reach of your computer, so you don't have to get up from your desk and go to that multifunction unit or even that network scanner. Easy error recovery. It's right there. You open it up, pull up the documents if there was a jam, or open it up right there and clean the device if needed. You can run the device right from within an application that's either Twain compliant, ISIS compliant, and PC security is well established and controlled by IT. So you know if that device is connected to John's PC, if John's not logged in, no one's using that device. One thing about IT and security, MFPs, all the manufacturers have different security policies, different tools. So IT has to learn how to use those, and they are different by manufacturer. Business rules could easily be forced on a user at scan time, creating scan profiles, if you will, within a capture application, such as our ScanVal Pro, or even Kofax Capture. Mission critical. This is where a scanner, a dedicated scanner, would be most prevalent. It's mission critical to do scanning as part of the workflow. A dedicated scanner would be the ideal device, because you know exactly who's using it, who in a particular department is using it. As well, the service level is a premium. With our dedicated scanners, the majority of them have advanced exchange warranty. So if confirmed defective, we're going to ship out a replacement next business day anywhere in Canada and pay free back for the defective. So no fussing around with sending a service line and say, we're just going to replace the whole unit for you. And there's lots of cost savings involved too. Because you have full duplex, single pass duplex, you don't have to scan a document twice or do double duplex or double pass duplex as you would with the multifunction unit. Image file size tends to be much smaller than a MFP or even a network scanner. We're going to give you a couple examples in the slide in a minute. And of course, OCR capabilities, be able to extract data from a scanned image, so you have some intelligence to work with. And with some of the larger scanners, we have a 6800 at the back there that has a 500-page feeder. You can have multiple batches of documents in that feeder at one time, and then be able to put some intelligence behind it using a scan profile and be able to extract different image files from multiple batches. And overscan control, that's an important one to point out. If you're doing mixed batch document scanning and something goes in a little bit crooked, what can happen is that it'll cut off the corners, top and bottom. What we implement in our scanner is overscan. So it'll scan before the document's even started and after it's ended. So if we have to straighten it up and do a crop and a de-skew, you won't miss any corners.